Good evening. At this time, please rise as the candidates for graduation enter the stadium. Thank you. You may be seated. On behalf of the administration, faculty, and students of Coffee County Central High School, I welcome you to our 2019 commencement exercises. High school graduation would not be possible without the support of many individuals. Tonight, I would like to recognize some individuals who have played a key role in this process. Please hold your applause until the conclusion of this introduction. Coffee County Board of Education members include Chairperson Mr. Brad Henley, Vice Chairman Dr. Gary Nestor, Dr. Shannon Duncan, Mr. Pat Barton, Mrs. Frida Jones, Mrs. Sandra Clanaris, and Mrs. Esther Sims. In addition, Mr. Joe Pettigo, Director of Schools. Also, I would like to express my gratitude to our high school faculty and staff. Let's give these individuals a round of applause. At this time, the Central High School Air Force Junior ROTC will present the colors. Would you please stand? We will begin our program with our national anthem sung by vocal hype.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Mr. Harley Henshaw has served as the 2018 and 19 Central High School Senior Class President. He is the son of Anita and Jeff Henshaw. Harley, will you please come forward to address your class at this time?
If you had to think back to the first day of freshman year, you were probably feeling one of three ways. You might have been confident, doubtful, or like me right now, nervous as can be. Throughout high school, we got to know each other, made our friends, and most importantly, journeyed 4 years to shake a hand and finally toss our caps. While we were preparing for this night to come, did any of you all worry about the past, dread the future, or forget to live in the present moment? I know I did. I sometimes let an important moment slip or fade away. Sometimes I never even recognized what living in the present moment actually was. So what is living in the present moment? One definition is being conscious, aware, and in the present with all your senses. Past mistakes, hurts, and heartaches too often cause us to dwell in the past. As graduates, our next chapter is going to be filled with tough, grown-up decisions and unknown experiences that can cause fears and worry. Living in the moment means letting go of that past and not waiting for that future. It means living your life consciously, aware that each moment you breathe, it's a gift. Initially, let's take a moment, class of 2019. We're all here at this field tonight. Everyone is dressed nicely in caps and gowns. Your friends are all sitting near you. Your parents are lining the stands, waiting to cheer when your name is finally called. You will never have this moment ever again. So take it in. Be proud. In life, you never know when a special moment might present itself. So always, focus on the now. I played basketball and baseball at CCHS and was part of some awesome moments with my teams. Although I never hit the game-winning shot or had the walk-off hit, I had great teammates who did. It was late in the basketball game and it was tied with 10 seconds to go. Coach Micah had drawn up a play for the win. We ran the play and my friend and teammate Kyle Farless hit the game-winning three-point shot before the buzzer went off. It was then that I really took a mental timeout to pause and take everything in. The team jumping up and down, the fans going nuts. I was able to stop time in that one little second and just breathe in the madness and enjoy the win. Staying in the present can also be achieved by paying attention and celebrating small things that are often overlooked. This could be as simple as speaking to someone new in the hall or celebrating when getting a good grade back from a teacher. That happened a lot when Miss Winton handed back my quizzes and I scored a 75 instead of what I thought would be a 60. Celebrate other small victories throughout the day too, like maybe when Miss Pedigo or Miss Skipper assigned 20 problems instead of the normal 40. No matter how insignificant your successes may be, always celebrate them. Another way to live in the present moment is to put others before yourself and commit random acts of kindness. I know this sounds cheesy, but it's actually very simple. All it takes is a smile. Smiling can brighten others' days, but can also make you feel more joyful too. Compliments are another way. They cost nothing, take no time, and are free. But they can change someone's outlook on their entire day. Don't just think it, really say it. We, as a generation and class, need to take our AirPods out of our ears for a second and start complimenting, smiling, and brightening each other's days. My grandparents are my biggest supporters, and I'm so happy they're here tonight. I always think back to the joy I have when I call them randomly and tell them how much I love them. A 2-minute phone call made their day. Now we all have 2 minutes out of the day. Why not call someone important to you and tell them how you feel or how much you care about them? You can make their day and yours. These random acts of kindness allow us to fully take advantage of the moment that we're in. On the contrary, living in the present moment can be hampered by worrying about the future or obsessing over the past. We've all done it. Thought, what if? What if I had asked that special girl out? Or what if I had studied harder? But that's the past. If you worry and don't let go of the past, there is no way to change it. Things of the past always will bother us, but we cannot change them, whether they are good or bad. That is why it is so important to learn from our mistakes, but not be overly critical of them. Push aside those restraints of the past and focus right now on the present. The future is harmful too. If too much time is spent worrying about what is to come or what might happen, the present can be brushed aside and lost. Time should be allocated to plan for the future, but to worry is what can take us away from the now. I personally let worry affect me when I was preparing this very speech. My mind was often clouded as I worried about what I would say when my time was come to get up here and speak in front of all of you. Lastly, we can be present by continually giving thanks. Be thankful for your family and friends, for your classmates and teachers, and for your opportunities, whether they are successes or failures, and no matter how many they are or how embarrassing they might be. I give thanks to Jesus Christ for saving me and blessing me daily. I'm also thankful for my family. My older sister, Haley. You have influenced me in so many ways for the better and taught me how to deal with criticism, even if it was mainly given by you. Mom and Dad, you displayed unconditional love and support and gave me all the tools I needed for success. I would also like to thank everyone listening to me tonight. I am thankful to have been class president of the greatest class and being given this moment up here tonight. I lived in this moment. Now let's all live in our moments forever, because like tonight, they may never come back. Thank you.
The salutatory address will be given by Miss Isabel Watkins. Isabel has accomplished the impressive task of earning the second highest academic average in her class. She is the daughter of Robin and Tracy Watkins. Isabel, will you please come forward at this time?
As I was trying to decide what I was going to say to you today, I came across a quote from Bob Goff that states, "When Jesus rose from the dead, he didn't make a speech, he made breakfast for his friends." Sadly, today I don't have the option between a speech and making breakfast. If I had, I can promise you we would all be eating pancakes and bacon right now. Since I'm here and speaking to you, I want to take this opportunity to share with you all what I've learned from Coffee County schools. Don't worry, it isn't anything related to math, English, science, or social studies. It is so much bigger than those lessons which I did also learn along the way. Miss Polly taught me to be nice even when it was not to my advantage. Miss Tally encouraged me to combine my interests with my calling in life. Miss Monroe taught me that even when I was upset, I could show the love of Jesus Christ. Miss Rodriguez taught me that a teacher's commitment to their student lasts much longer when she leaves them in May. Miss Aaron taught me that our words have an impact. Trainer Jason taught me how to be sarcastic without anyone even knowing. Coach Horn taught me that sometimes you must take a risk to share your faith, no matter the cost. The coaching staff I've worked with taught me that you can be a champion no matter if you win or lose. The athletes that I took care of taught me that no matter what happens, friendship and laughter can make any day brighter. SRO Charlie Taylor taught me that there will always be someone in your corner fighting alongside you for justice. Miss Skipper taught me how to personally encourage others and be the quiet support people need. Miss Phillips taught me to persevere even when I didn't want to. Miss Cheryl taught me the impact it can make when you show a student that you truly care. Miss Barton taught me that friendship can be found among those whom I share similar passions. Miss Little taught me that it was okay for people to think that you're crazy as long as you are passionate about what you do. Katie Duke taught me the importance of godly character, even when she was confronted in anger. My closest friends taught me the depths of loyalty. There are so many others who made an impact that I do not have time to name, but their impression on my heart is there just the same. When my knowledge of the scientific method, the Pythagorean theorem, and Newton's laws of physics fail me, it will be the qualities instilled in me by my teachers, principals, and friends that will carry me through life. In the years to come, I will look back on my years in school and remember these qualities most. The most important lessons that I learned in high school is one that I did not learn at school. This lesson was learned in the day-to-day moments of life. I learned that above all, God is the most crucial piece of the puzzle in life. Without Him and His grace, none of us would be here today. I am so honored that I serve a God who loves me so much that He would send His Son to die on the cross for my sins as well as yours. A God who is so powerful that He could rise from the dead. Whether you have a personal relationship with Him or not, He loves you and He is always there with you. One of my favorite verses says, "Listen to advice and accept instruction, that you may gain wisdom in the future. Many are the plans in the mind of the man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand." I pray each of you have a successful future, finding your own purpose that will stand. Thank you.
The valedictory address will be delivered by Mr. George Gannon. George also served his school this year as student body president. George is the son of Teresa and George Gannon. Through his hard work and dedication, he has obtained the highest academic average in his class. We congratulate George for this outstanding accomplishment. George, will you please come forward at this time? You're going to do a great job.
Thank you. Before I begin, I'd like to pay respects to two of our fallen classmates, Austin Davis and Ryan Schaefer, who sadly couldn't join us today. Let's bow our heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. I have 6 minutes to do 3 tasks. Say thanks to everyone who has supported me on the way, provide an inspirational message, and keep all 1,000 or so of you entertained and engaged throughout. I warn all of you that one of these might be lacking by the time I try to accomplish all 3 of them. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my mom, my family, and my dad for always pushing me to go farther and instilling my 2 most important quotes to live by. This too shall pass, and you can be anything you set your mind to. I'd also like to thank my sister Lacey for always pushing me over the edge and teaching me patience during her daily antics of trying her best to agitate me. I love all my family very much, and I wouldn't be where I am today without any of them. To my best friends who have been there with me every step of the way, this is not the end. Also, I don't think I would be where I am today without my advisors and teachers who have set me on the right path. Finally, I'd like to thank my hands for always being at my side, my fingers because I could always count on them, the sidewalks for keeping me off the streets, and my legs for always supporting me. Now, I've probably already lost some of you while I was talking, but this is where everyone needs to listen because I'm about to say the most important thing I can ever say. Spill the real tea, if you will. Ah. As you sit there and daydream while I drone on about whatever my speech is about, you're probably thinking about the future, the past, the present, or, if you're like me, what is for dinner. But clear your mind for a few minutes and take what I have to say to your heart. Here's a reality check. Yes, tonight is graduation. Yes, it is the culmination of 12 years of classwork and cringe. And yes, after tonight, most of us are hitting the ground sprinting into adult life. But when you receive that coveted piece of paper called a diploma, be sure that you graduate physically, but also be sure that you graduate mentally. After tonight, you are not a high schooler. You are something entirely different. If your mind is still in that building down the road and in your younger body, you can never hope to succeed. Don't dwell on the past, my friends, because the only thing we can do about the past is reflect, and that inevitably turns into an obsession. Nothing can be changed about the last 4 years, so don't try to change what you cannot. To graduate mentally, you must come to terms that you are an adult and at the start of a long life. Notice my wording there, the start. The reality is, this is just the beginning. You'd be doing yourself a disservice to think that tonight is the end of everything. I implore you to think of graduation as the start of a lifetime and not the end of an era. I will admit, it pains me to think that there are faces in this crowd I might not ever see again, or even that I've never even spoken a word to. I would bet my life that there are a few of you that feel identically to me. There was even a time where I didn't want to graduate for that very reason. What has helped me cope, though, has been realizing that these people will still exist after we part ways and that they have a lifetime more of happiness and memories waiting for them. As I look out into this graduating class, I see many talented, kind-hearted, and strong-willed individuals that I've made many memories with. All of us have faced adversity and challenge in our lives, some more than others. Yet, all of us have prevailed. We have all had very different lifestyles and made very different choices, including some we may regret. But congrats, you're still here. Sometimes your life most likely rounded about what everyone expected of you in your schoolwork or social standing. But after you graduate, I will add physically and mentally, you will not be at the behest of the school or of your various peers. You will be able to live your life exactly how you want, or at least how your guardians will allow for now. If you thought you had a lot of freedom in high school, boy, you've got a gift coming to you. We all must break out of this high school mentality that everything you do must be what is required and not what you truly want. Think about it this way. You spent the past 4 years for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, listening to 7 adults telling you what is required for the day, all just to experience this one night. That isn't a problem to some of you because you know college and the workforce will be very similar to the conditions you had in school. Some of you are content with the idea that someone will always be in charge of you. But at no point prior to now could you stand up and change your roles. I mean, for real, you were legally obligated to come to school. After tonight, whatever. Want to go to college or tech school? Enroll. Want to defend this great nation from threats abroad? Enlist. Want to be your own boss and not have to bow to anyone? Interpret what I'm saying as true, and you can be whatever you want to be. Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Take initiative and make your reality exactly how you want it, no matter how grand or how modest. Your life should be focused on constantly fulfilling your own dreams and aspirations and living for all the moments and memories you can obtain. If everything goes to plan, within a span of 24 hours or so, we will all shed our old skin of being a high schooler and molt into adults. My final piece of advice to you is don't be left behind. Don't spend the rest of your life waiting on something better, wishing you could go back to simpler times, or willingly shorthanding yourself of your full potential. We are all better than that. We, the class of 2019, are capable of moving mountains, breaking barriers, and shattering expectations. Tonight is the start of it all. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm beyond thankful for getting to experience high school with you.
At this time, the Central High School Center Stage Singers will perform I Am Still Your Dreamer.
All my life you have been by my side, carried me high, kissed me goodnight. I was your dreamer. Now I'm grown, my journey has just begun. I'm looking back, this was my life. I will remember it all. And I thank you for the moments when I learned how to stand on my own. And I'm grateful for the memories of the life and the love I have known. And I want you to know, not everything is changing. There's a place deep in my heart that will stay with you for now and always. Here we stand, ready for what day falls, filled with our hopes, filled with our dreams. We will stay close to our hearts. One by one, we go to find our way. Out in the world, our lives, true to ourselves we will be. And we thank you for the moments you showed us the way we should live. To have flourished the life taught us to live. And we want you to know, not everything is changing. There's a place deep in our hearts that will stay with you for now and always. When I was a child, though I was small, I was your dreamer pretending to chasing my dreams. This is my time now to try something more. I hope that I find what my heart's longing for. And I
graduating seniors of the class of 2019, high school diploma from Coffee County Central High School, tonight marks the end of an era in your lives. Your high school completion also ushers in a time to reflect on how you arrived at where you are. Yes, you probably drove here, or you rode with a family member, a fellow graduate, or maybe your girlfriend. But how did you really get here? What factors have influenced tonight's accomplishment? Your friends, parents, siblings, other family members, various teachers, and even perhaps your youth group have helped to shape each of you. At times, events of which you may have had no control have impacted you either for the time being or for a long duration of time. The choices that you made as a child and as a teenager, no matter how insignificant or life-changing they may have seemed, they have fashioned themselves into lessons that you take with you into adulthood and for the rest of your lives. Graduation candidates, you have all experienced things during your years in elementary, middle, and high school that have helped you to learn how to finish. Without doubt, you must have a sense tonight that you have completed something that is worthwhile. Take pride in having met the requirements for receiving a Coffee County Central High School diploma. And take pride in how you arrived at this destination, because it is the how that truly reveals your character. I want to share a story about how one man's character was revealed. Back in 1968, a country in East Africa called Tanzania sent just 4 athletes to Mexico City for the Summer Olympic Games. Tanzania had never won a gold medal. None of those 4 athletes won a medal in those summer games, but the manner in which one Tanzanian marathon runner finished revealed admirable character to spectators, as well as those who have heard about his feat since that time. In the 1968 Summer Olympic Marathon, John Aquari struggled, and as he jockeyed with others for position near the halfway point of the race, he tangled with another runner. He fell to the ground. He gashed and dislocated his knee, and he smashed his shoulder on the pavement. But writhing in pain, he lifted himself from a seated position on the track. Although it made sense to remove himself from the race, he quickly received medical attention and then returned to the track. At times, he appeared to be dragging himself. His pace was slow, but he continued on. Another runner crossed the finish line to claim the gold medal. Then over the next several minutes, other runners finished, and spectators began to filter out of the Olympic Stadium as night fell. But then news that there was still another runner competing spread, and television crews re-entered to see exactly what was happening there. Over 1 hour after the marathon winner had finished, John Aquari struggled over the finish line. His time was nothing special at all, but he completed the supreme test of endurance, going 26.2 miles with unexpected and serious injuries, and with no hope of winning the gold. The crowd was small when he finally arrived at the finish, but he received a mighty applause. how John Alcoy finished the 1968 Olympic marathon revealed his character. He was determined, he was committed, he was perseverant, he was courageous. After the race, he was asked why he carried on in such difficult circumstances. He replied, "My country didn't send me 5,000 miles to start the race. They sent me 5,000 miles to finish the race." He ran with an understanding that he represented country and those within that country, and for that, he embodied patriotism. Central High School class of 2019, you are finishing a significant race tonight, and I urge you to reflect on how you have arrived here. Consider all those who have had a hand in shaping you. Take time to consider the events in your life that have hastened your development into the person you are tonight. Contemplate your choices and the lessons that have resulted. During the race that you will formally finish tonight, various measures of determination and commitment and courage and perseverance have been revealed of your character. Remember the instances where those qualities have been made manifest within you. Remember how you arrived here. And as you set out on your next great race, whether it be a challenging new career or furthering your education, embrace those admirable qualities within yourselves. Give them room to bloom further and head in the direction of the finish line. Class of 2019, I am extremely proud of each of you, and I wish you many rich blessings in the future. Now at this time, the Central High School Center Stage Singers will perform the song, Amazing.
I'm living right here and now, and I don't want to miss out. Is this what life's all about? The world is calling and I'm listening. And I'm listening. I feel the freedom inside. Come on, let's go for a ride. I finally opened my eyes and I can see it so clearly. So clearly. Life is but a dream, and isn't it amazing? Oh, life can be amazing. Oh, I feel my heart be racing, racing my phone. Soaring ever higher, I can light my inner fire, and then we'll see what happens now, what happens now. And then we'll see what happens now, what happens now. way to the top. We'll never break, never stop. And when we get to the spot, we'll know we made it there together. We'll remember forever that life is but a dream. And isn't it amazing? Oh, life can be amazing. Oh, I feel my heartbeat racing, racing. I fly, soaring higher. I can fly higher, and then we'll see what happens now. What happens now? And then we'll see what happens now. What happens now? Watch what happens now. It's amazing, oh, it's amazing. It's amazing, it's amazing. It's amazing, it's amazing. Oh, it's amazing, it's amazing. It's amazing, it's amazing. It's amazing. Watch what happens. What happens now? What happens now? Watch what happens now.
At this time, Career and Technical Education Director, Mr. Richard Skipper, will come forward to make special recognitions.
Thank you. It is always an honor to have graduates enlist into the military service following graduation. At this time, we would like to recognize these students. I ask for the following enlistees to please stand as your name is called. Please hold your applause until all enlistees have been recognized. Jared Martinez, Marines. Byron Sullivan, Marines. Trey Sullivan, Marines. Jose Hernandez, Marines. Chloe Haggard, Marines. Coulter Smith, Marines. Caleb Ron, Marines. Logan Dillard, Marines. Terrence Claiborne, Marines. Harrison Lucas Hullett, Marines. William Fan, Marines. Aaron Cope, Army. Kobe Howard, Army. Jackson Kelly, Army. Drake Medina, Army. Sophia Tant, Army. Thomas Lawson, Navy. Orrin Harper, Air Force. Sarah Grogan Loftus, Air Force. Xavier Lowry, Air Force. Alexis Robinson, Air Force. Noah Amonette, Army National Guard. We also have one graduate who has already completed basic training for the Marine Corps at Parris Island, South Carolina on May 17, 2019, and is currently on active duty. Elisha Carter, Private First Class, please stand. Thank you all for choosing to serve in our nation's armed forces. We would now like to honor some very special students that have completed their high school careers, grades 9 through 12, with perfect attendance. Will the following students please stand as your name is called? Skylar Fan, George Gannon, Catherine Heatherly, Kellen Patatan Navarrete, Morgan Henley. Congratulations on this outstanding achievement. Also, one of our graduating seniors has successfully completed his academic career, grades K through 12, with perfect attendance. This impressive accomplishment was achieved by Kix Farrell. Kix, please stand at this time. Now, at this time, Mr. Jason Creek, the CHS Instructional Coordinator, will recognize students graduating with distinctions.
This year, many of our students will graduate with distinction. The first of these is a state honors distinction. The following students have maintained a GPA of 3.5 or higher and scored at or above all subject area readiness benchmarks on the ACT. Will the following students please rise as your name is called? Jaden Aquino, Hannah Archer, Josh Barnard, Jack Beachboard, Jessica Bogle, Nathan Brown, Sakota Chappett, Cade Davis, Sarah Dove, Scotty Duke, Allison Elam, Natalie Elzier, Austin Ferris, Daniel Fredesky, George Gannon, Haley Hackney, Matthew Hale, Weston Hargrove, Harley Henshaw, Megan Jones, Travis Lawson, Annabelle Lane, Yaneli Luna, Alessandra Marlowe, Jacob Moore, Ann Petty, Samuel Prater, Kara Roper, Bailey Roy, M.E. Spradley, Chloe Spry, Madison Vaughn, Amber Walker, Zoe Ward, Isabel Watkins, Noah Watkins, Brianna Williamson, Mackenzie Webb, Abigail Wiedenbacher, Lacey West, Allison Williams, and Wesley Wilson. Congratulations to these students. You may be seated. The following students will receive district distinction for maintaining a 3.0 GPA or higher and earning an industry certification. Will the following students please rise as your name is called? Josh Barnard, Jackson Beachboard, Nathan Brown, Cade Davis, Chase Davis, Matthew Hale, Weston Hargrove, Morgan Henley, Bryson Hollett, Kelsey Kuhn, Ethan No, Alexa Payne, Samantha Payton, Chloe Spry, Mackenzie Tudor, Madison Vaughn, Zoe Ward, Lacey West, and Brianna Williamson. Congratulations to these students. You may be seated. The Tennessee TriStar distinction is awarded to the following students who earned a composite of 19 or higher on the ACT and earned an industry certification. Please stand as your name is called. Josh Barnard, Jack Beachboard, Nathan Brown, Cade Davis, Chase Davis, Michaela Ellis, Matthew Hale, Weston Hargrove, Morgan Henley, Bryson Hollett, Kelsey Kuhn, Ethan No, Chloe Spry, Mackenzie Tudor, Madison Vaughn, Zoe Ward, Lacey West, and Brianna Williamson. Congratulations to these students. You may be seated. The Volunteer Scholars distinction is awarded to the student who has completed 80 hours of community service throughout high school and are in good academic standing. Will the following students please rise as your name is called? Kate Craighead, Matthew Hale, Sarah Loftus, Haley Richardson, Isabel Watkins, Noah Watkins, Allison Williams, and Thomas Winton. Congratulations to these students. You may be seated. Our last distinction is the state distinction. The following students have earned a GPA of 3.5 or higher and earned at least one of the following: an industry certification, participated in governor's school, participated in an all-state musical, earned a 31 or higher composite on the ACT, earned a 3 or higher on at least 2 advanced placement exams, or earned 12 or more semester hours of post-secondary credit through dual enrollment, dual credit, or advanced placement. I will ask the following students to please rise as your name is called. Jaden Aquino, Josh Barnard, Jack Beachboard, Jessica Bogle, Nathan Brown, Cade Davis, Sarah Dove, Scotty Duke, Allison Elam, Samantha Ellison, Natalie Elzier, Daniel Fredesky, George Gannon, Haley Hackney, Matthew Hale, Weston Hargrove, Morgan Henley, Harley Henshaw, Lily Holt, Bryson Howlett, Kelsey Kuhn, Travis Lawson, Alessandra Marlowe, Jacob Moore, Abby Morgan, Alexa Payne, Samuel Prater, Brannon Reynolds, Haley Richardson, Bailey Roy, Chloe Spry, Zoe Ward, Isabel Watkins, Lacey West, Brianna Williamson, Wesley Wilson, and Kristen Ray. Congratulations to all these students. You may be seated.
At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Joe Pettigo, Director of Coffee County Schools, to join me at the podium. Will the graduating class please rise? Mr. Pettigo, these candidates have satisfactorily completed the requirements of the state of Tennessee for receiving their high school diploma. The faculty and staff of Coffee County Central High School recommend these students for the conferral of diplomas.
By the authority granted to me by the Tennessee Board of Education, I grant confirmation. Congratulations.
Students, please be seated. To the family members and friends of the graduates, we appreciate your presence with us tonight, which reflects your support and encouragement. As we prepare to recognize candidates for graduation, I would ask for your cooperation in providing each person here the opportunity to hear the name of his or her graduate announced. I also ask that all family members and guests please stay in the seating areas and do not come onto the field until after all of the graduates have marched out. Thank you for your respect of these requests. At this time, I will ask sophomore assistant principal, Mrs. Katrina Wright, to come to the podium for recognition of candidates.
Wyatt Preston Akers. Brandon Anthony Alcarez. Keely Marie Alford. Declan Van Allen. Jordan Blake Allen. Francesco Alzate. Allie Elizabeth Amato. Noah Riley Eminette. Chase Dalton Anderson. Clarissa Elaine Anderson. Aaron Emil Anthony. Jaden Maitreya Aquino. Hannah Paige Archer. Jeremiah Allen Marquise Armstrong.
Morgan Ashley Arnett.